Hi, this is Regina White Favors with Logo Plus Branding. So the topic today is Introduction to the Sales Plan, the Basics. This is an extension, much more detailed presentation on the sales plan. In the previous video presentation, Logo Plus Branding, Introduction to Business Planning, the Basics, I provide an overview of the sales plan. This particular presentation is much lengthier. It's going to take a little bit more time, and it gives us an opportunity to cover the sales plan. The most important aspect of business planning, in addition to marketing planning, is creating a revenue target. So if you want to sell X product uh, for Y price, then what's going to be the revenue target? So how much of X products do you want to sell in a month? And then what does that target look like after you have paid taxes or anything like that? And so the sales plan is one of those things where you have to design a strategy to sell and then bring in revenue. That you cannot stay in marketing mode for so long. Um, for example, building brand awareness. At some point, you're going to have to convert your customer from a lead to a qualified lead to a new customer. So this is a discussion about how to move your online consumer, the person, the individual who is just merely consuming your products, haven't subscribed, look at your videos, haven't followed. How do you move that person? How do you move that customer into a qualified lead, into a lead, to a qualified lead, and then into a new customer? So this is Logo Plus Branding, Introduction to the Sales Plan, the Basics. All right, so a quick fair use disclaimer. There are some pics I might be using, some language I might be using. There's also, at the end of this presentation, resources, reference sources that are have that house clickable links as well. So this presentation covers the following topics: understanding the logo plus brand. That is a recap from the previous lesson. The sales plan template, marketing planning, creating an online marketing campaign, a case study, which is a sales plan, considerations for favors, marketing lessons, one-on-one titles, and then conclusion, leveraging your sales plan. So the learning objectives: by the end of this workshop, students will be able to do the following: define sales plan, outline the sections of a sales plan, coordinate marketing goals with a sales plan, create a sample sales plan using a product or a service. So one of the things that we learned in the previous lesson, that you need to coordinate your marketing goals with your sales plan. As again, at some point, you have to turn those marketing goals into actual sales uh, revenue. So these are your learning objectives. All right, so introduction to the sales plan, the basics, provides an overview of sales planning using one or more marketing goals to coordinate sales strategies and tactics for a product and or service. The sales plan basics presentation recaps information about the significance of the logo, marketing planning, and creating the digital marketing campaign while introducing the purpose of the sales plan, which is to understand the market, create a buyer's persona, and establish revenue targets. This presentation focuses on the logo plus branding connection to the sales plan, featuring 4 favors marketing lessons, one-on-one titles as a case study. So this particular presentation is brought to you by Favors Coffee Shop, which is um, business planning from seed. And the mission, we're going to get into it. It's basically a seminar based type of workshop where we talk about business planning, marketing planning, sales planning for the emerging small business owner. So, what is Favors Coffee Shop? Favors Coffee Shop is a small business planning basics workshop that is designed to help emerging small business owners navigate the business planning landscape. The purpose of Favors Coffee Shop is to provide workshop and conference seminar guidance for small business owners needing practical and technical information about business basics, marketing, and plans. Favors Coffee Shop helps small business owners plan from the initial idea we call the seed. Favors Coffee Shop is a product of Favors Marketing Solutions. The mission of Favors Coffee Shop is to create and facilitate business planning workshops for emerging small business owners, offering both a planning and writing component, which may also include conference seminars. Favors Coffee Shop offers two business planning workshops, logo plus branding, and then event planning 101. Event planning 101 is in process. So the business planning workshops again are separated into two types, two categories. So, logo plus branding. The purpose of this workshop is to introduce you to the logo plus branding processes to begin marketing your product or service. Event Planning 101, the purpose of this workshop is to introduce you to the importance of creating an event plan to sell your product or service. So, understanding the logo plus brand, which will allow you to leverage the logo plus brand for sales potential. So, recap, a logo is defined as a symbol that a company creates and designs to identify its products and services. A logo can be trademarked. It is placed on all company products, services, including vehicles and uniforms. It helps the market, industry, competitors, and the target audience recognize and remember the company. The logo you create connects the customer to the message you want to convey about your product or service. The logo is attached to the branding objectives for a company and its products and or services. Together, the logo plus brand convey a message about the company and its promise to the consumer about its product and or service. Brand. Branding is defined as the product or service that is unique and recognizable but is distinguishable from its competitors within a specific industry. The brand has a recognizable identity that consumers associate by product or service, label, quality of packaging, value and quality. A brand increases visual identity. All right, so sample brand objectives. The following are sample brand objectives for company's product and or service. So increase brand awareness, increase market share, increase revenue, increase sales, increase brand equity, increase web traffic, and then uh, to generate leads. When you're thinking about brand awareness, that is one of the marketing goals that I usually have is build brand awareness. But when you see here, this works also for a sales plan objective. Market share will depend upon when you are entering the market, how competitive your product is. If the market is already saturated with, say, a lot of burgers from different burger chains, they're going to control a majority of the market share as well as the brand equity. So you'll be competing on a very local, community-based level. But then if people prefer going to In-N-Out, Whataburger, Burger King, McDonald's, then you're definitely going to be competing. You may be considered a more unique niche burger, right? So increasing revenue, that means that you're going to have to create a revenue target. Okay. Increasing sales, it just depends on the revenue target that you set and how much sales what are your projected sales? What do you expect to sell? What product? Increase your brand equity, and then increasing web traffic is going to depend upon uh, your digital ad campaign and the marketing goals that you want to achieve, and then generate leads. Generate leads. Leads are not customers. Do keep that in mind. Leads are not customers. Leads are just leads. Those leads can convert to potential customer, then qualified lead, and then new customer. But they're just leads. So keep that in mind when you are creating the brand objectives uh, and connecting the logo to the brand, and then creating the marketing plans and sales plans. The brand objectives may coordinate, support, and validate marketing and sales goals. So, the sales plan, positioning the marketing strategy to create revenue objectives. So, a sales plan is defined as the processes of laying out sales objectives coordinated with a business plan and marketing goals. The sales plan includes the following strategies. So, creating high level tactics, sales tactics, creating a target audience, and assessing potential obstacles. One of the obstacles that you will have to overcome is the idea that you are a niche product. You are a niche type of business. You're not going to hit high level revenue targets in your first 1 to 3 years. If anything, you're going to break even, and you may turn a profit, but it's not. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the business is profitable. You usually wait until after that third year, and then you get into your fifth year, and you assess what other types of obstacles you may have to encounter and resolve. The business plan lays out goals, but the sales plan lays out how you will meet those goals and make them happen based on a focused sales strategy. So, the purpose of a sales plan is to do the following: communicate your business goals and objectives, provide strategic direction for selling products and services, assign roles and tasks appropriate to skill level and expertise, monitor and assess team progress. You do have to have people who know how to sell, who are enthusiastic about selling. If you're the type of person like myself who likes to explain and create a marketing plan, you're going to do just fine. However, eventually I'm going to have to get into a seller's mentality. And so if I'm not that kind of person who cares about selling, then I'm going to have to hire someone who does. And that person will have to have a skill level and expertise about selling. The ultimate purpose of the sales plan is to define a target market, determine sales strategies, and reach revenue targets. So, step by step for sales plans, the following are step by step considerations for adopting and facilitating a sales plan for your organization, product, and or service. So, research, define, identify, estimate, include, outline. So, research the competition, the market, industry data for your product, service, gather sales data. You have a lot of free information online, especially from government based and organizational based types of institutions. Define your marketing and sales objectives for your product and or service. Conduct a SWOT based upon your sales planning knowledge. Identify gaps. So SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And that is basically asking yourself, what are my strengths when it comes to sales planning knowledge? What are my weaknesses when it comes to sales planning knowledge? What are my opportunities when it comes to sales planning knowledge? And then what are my threats when it comes to sales planning knowledge? A threat would be that you don't know anything at all. The opportunity would be to resolve any gaps in your understanding. That means you are resolving weaknesses. And then strengths would be to maintain that and assess over time. Estimate. So start sales forecasting to estimate future revenue. Include key personnel in decision making, and then outline actions per assigned role. So people need to know, if you're going to have a sales team, they need to know what their role is. They need to know what their revenue targets are, what the marketing goals are, what the full sales plan is. All right, so there are different types of sales plans. So there's an annual, quarterly, monthly, individual sales rep, territory, product launch, service launch, market expansion. And again, you can research this, conduct a Google search on what this means. I think it's much more self explanatory. You may want to research in terms of how strategies are utilized when it comes to annually, quarterly, monthly, individual sales rep, territory, product launch, service launch, market expansion. But these are based upon the type of product you have or service you have. These are the types of sales plans that you need to consider. So sales plan strategies, these types of sales plans coordinate with simple sales plan strategies. The following presents a brief list of sales strategies for businesses, products, and or services. So define the customer. This includes creating a buyer's persona. So what type of customer do you want to appeal to? What is your target customer? How much that person makes? What's the demographic? What's the gender distribution? What is the data? Then create a narrative around the product and our service. So I've noticed that many people like narratives. They like stories. Tell a story behind the particular product, right? Create a targeted sales campaign that focuses on a niche market. So if you're trying to enter the self-help market, it's very saturated. Now, it depends on the categories of self-help, right? It depends on if you if you're trying to get into um, self-help when it comes to helping mothers, right? New mothers. Okay, that's a saturated market. It's not there's a lot of gaps in that market, but many publishers, many independent self-published authors have offered a lot of different types of books to close that gap. And then you have agencies and organizations also. But if you're looking for, say, my niche is life recovery, overcoming setback, pursuing life recovery. Well, the market is mainly about resilience. It spends a lot of times with books on resilience, but you don't necessarily see a lot of books on overcoming setback. They may have particularly a industry, maybe like athletic industry, um, uh, health industry, like overcoming setback. But my particular titles, my books, they focus on overcoming everyday life little setbacks, the things that you have made decisions about that were not good decisions or something like that. And so my particular self-help area would be niche. So then I would have to educate and convince a wide range of audiences who would be interested in even considering this topic, life recovery. And you might find more people who have experienced homelessness or something like that that might find it interesting. So I do have my work cut out for me. And so then sell the brand aspect of your company, product, and or service, and then create initiatives for internal growth. So here's your sales plan template, understanding the sales plan format. The following sections are standard for the sales plan written for a business. So there's the mission statement, product and or service, target customers. So that's your buyer's persona, revenue targets based on sales forecasting, sales plan strategies and tactics, pricing, marketing, promotional activities, any deadlines, team structure and resources, market research and conditions. And so I go over the sales plan sections in this presentation. Marketing planning, coordinating the marketing plan and sales plan. So the following represent preliminary questions for the sales plan and are based on sales uh, forecasting objectives. How will you market to the target customer? What will be the revenue target based on sales forecasting for the product and or service for a week, a month, by quarter, or year? What will be the marketing strategies and tactics coordinated with the sales plan? And what will be the market conditions based on the product and or service for the sales plan? So let's look at when we are establishing goals, because both of these goals fall up under the business plan. And there are two different types of categories, right? So you have sample marketing goals, and then you have sample sales goals. All of the bullet points that you see for the sample sales goals, those terms are defined at the end of the presentation. So do look out for that. It is part of the glossary, and it will be separated from the main presentation as well. So sample marketing goals are the same ones that I use in all of my books and to guide all of my digital ad campaigns. So build brand awareness, drive traffic to your website, create an online targeted consumer base, create a buyer's persona, create customers who purchase your products, create an email list, assess returning customers. After doing the um, business plan presentation, I realized that my sample marketing goals, the last three, are really, they can really easily convert to sales goals, or at least be a part of the planning process, creating customers who purchase. That means that I am converting a potential lead to qualified lead and then to new customer, right? Create an email list. That's going to be, of course, if someone decides to subscribe to the website, or if I give a product as an exhibitor at a conference and then they sign the email list. And then assess and returning customers, meaning they have to buy something. And a lot of times, if they leave a review, say for instance, I'm selling product on Amazon and they leave a review, they gives us feedback. So these are your sample marketing goals that the last three could easily convert to sales goals. So your sample sales goals are typical of the terminology for the sales industry. So reduce customer churn, increase sales revenue, manage customer retention, deepen lead engagement, improve email marketing, increase customer satisfaction, improve customer acquisition, improve market share, and then schedule more demos. So these terms are defined at the end of the presentation. So make sure to get to the end so you'll know what they are. Right, so creating an online marketing campaign, developing the digital ad to increase sales potential. So this is also a recap. An online marketing campaign, better defined as a digital marketing campaign, is a planned and coordinated effort to promote a product, service, and or brand to a target audience utilizing digital channels. Digital marketing channels include content marketing, influencer marketing, mobile marketing, video marketing, affiliate marketing, SEM, which is search engine, I always forget, search search engine marketing or something like that, display advertising, and word of mouth marketing. Digital marketing tactics include search engine optimization, pay per click advertising, social media marketing, email marketing, and content marketing. Pay per click is when you sign up for a particular ad program like Facebook ads, LinkedIn, Instagram, sign up for Google ads, or any other type of advertising program. All right, so create marketing goals. Again, build brand awareness, drive traffic to your website, create an online targeted consumer base, create a buyer's persona, create customers who purchase your products, create an email list, and assess returning customers. So then when you are looking to create a digital ad, the marketing goals was a recap, right? So you're wanting to choose a product or service to test the market, and you're going to have to establish the marketing goal. Choose a social media marketing platform such as Facebook. Facebook is the most cost effective. LinkedIn is the least cost effective. Establish a minimal budget over a 7 day period. This will serve as your case study. Choose a marketing goal. So it could be one to build brand awareness or drive traffic to your website. It just depends. If you're still a new product to the market, you are always building brand awareness. Now, if you are selling food products and you're at a store, you have a store location, then I believe it's still going to be building brand awareness. But you also have to get people into your store. Design a digital ad that includes the message, the product, and the call to action. Deploy the ad campaign. After the period ends, review your data results. So here's a sample digital ad that I use for my online coaching program. And so when you are creating the digital ad, you need to choose a target audience, set the marketing goal, choose the appropriate platform, create the budget, and include call to action language. So choosing the appropriate platform is going to coordinate with the budget. If you, like I said in a previous Facebook is the most cost effective. You could spend for a 7 day period for $14. You can increase it to 35, 50, 100 for a 7 day period, right? And it's going to stay there. However, if you choose LinkedIn, and I think the budget begins at $100, you can easily spend that in less than an hour, because whatever target audience you want to market to, all other advertisers compete for that audience. So that means if someone has $500, they still may have a few days. If you just have $100 for your digital ad campaign, it's going to be less than an hour. So going the Facebook route, and then you can boost to Instagram, would be more cost effective. I have not utilized Bing ads program, Amazon ads program, Google ads program. Those are my next three strategies I'm considering. All right, so let's look at the sample language. So the target audience is going to be students who want to learn how to set marketing goals and complete a workshop. The marketing goal are to create targeted online consumer base, convert online consumers to customers who purchase. So this means that if I'm setting these marketing goals, I've already built enough brand awareness out of it. I've already had customers to come to the website. So now I need to create a targeted online consumer base, people who will be interested in taking a marketing goals workshop, and then convert those particular people into subscribers and then into purchasers of the service of the online coaching. Platform would be Facebook digital ads program, budget $14 for a 7 day run, and then call to action is enrolled now. So you need someone to make sure, even though there's a website, and for me, I feel like that's enough. I will go and find that information. But a very successful digital ad must have a call to action. And so call to action in this case is enroll now. So here's a sample digital ad based upon marketing goals as well. So this is workbook collection for self-reflection. There's life recovery after romantic hastiness, favorite sample life plan journal, and then overcoming setback workbook. And these are companion sources. So then the digital ad purpose is going to utilize the marketing goals, four of them. So we're going to build brand awareness, drive traffic to the website, create online consumers, and create customers who purchase. Because there is a call to action of purchase now. And so we get to measure then how many people who purchase and how many people who leave a review for this collection. So then your sample digital ad marketing channels would then be content marketing. I could do blogs or I can do vlogs, which are your videos. Digital advertising on Facebook, which will be paid. I can also, that would be on the page site, but then I can also post an ad on my profile. Word of mouth, anyone who would be interested in telling anyone else. Facebook posts, of course, on paid, and then search engine optimization. So that means I would have to study the industry to know what the specific keywords would work for this type of ad, or I may have to hire an SEO specialist who would be much more equipped and skilled and have the expert ability, the expertise to know exactly how to create the keywords and tags. So your marketing channels define the following marketing channels are standard to facilitate marketing goals. Marketing channels can include paid and free. So digital advertising, again, influencer marketing, search engine optimization, content marketing, word of mouth, traditional marketing through mass media and print. So here's a case study of my particular product. So sample sales plan for Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles. So the sales plan for Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles is predicated on the marketing and sales goals for the following entities and product services offered through these brands. So Favors Marketing Solutions, which will be services, courses, workshops, Favors Marketing School, and then the FMS Marketing Coaching Program, which is an online coaching by the hour. The sales plan for the Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles will be based on the marketing goals for an event. So, for example, if the marketing goal is to build brand awareness and or drive traffic to the website, workshop participants and booth visitors will receive a complimentary copy for their workshop purchase, whether Favors Marketing Solutions receives any direct attendance fees or not. So, for instance, I am going to exhibit at Small Business Expo 2024 in Miami in March and in Atlanta in December. Well, I paid to not only exhibit, but also to give a workshop. So that's my pay, but I'm not going to receive payment from any of the workshop attendees. That payment goes to Small Business Expo. But I will have an exhibitor's booth and I could also sell product. I'm using the workshop opportunity to build brand awareness of the titles as well as Favors Marketing Solutions. However, if the marketing goal is to convert consumer to customer, then sales may be offered both at the exhibitor booth and online for a given conference. The marketing and sales goals would be to sell. So again, if we're at the conference, the marketing goals might not be to sell product. The marketing goal would be to introduce the company, introduce the titles, products, things like that. But at my specific booth, I'm definitely going to push to sell, right? And so therefore, I would need a sales plan. So then, sales plan sections, mission statement, product, service, customer, target customers, revenue targets, sales plan strategies, pricing, marketing, promotional activities, deadlines, team structure, resources, market research, and conditions. So now let's look at those particular items and explore them. The mission of Favors Marketing Lessons 101 is to provide practical knowledge to small businesses on marketing planning, utilizing standard marketing goals for digital marketing campaigns, and serving as companion resources to various core products under the Favors brand. So that's the mission. Favors Marketing Lessons 101 includes four main titles to date. So the lessons derive from digital marketing campaigns. That's your Favors Marketing Lessons 101, which is the workbook. That's the one I started out with. That's the one that the main marketing goals serve as a guide. And they serve as a guide for all of the marketing campaigns and all of the strategies. Then you have the basics for creating the buyer's persona. So I explore about 5 to 6 sample buyer's personas in that book. Then you have a brief guide to digital marketing, which is new. So we are in January 2024. I wrote both the last two books in December, and then the digital ads of 2023, and then the digital ads collection and planning workbook is all of the ads that I created for the 3 month case study and any other type of ad for any other marketing objective. I placed all of them all in one book, and I created it as a workbook companion. So these are the titles. There are two more in the works, which are your logo plus brand titles. So that's your business plan basics, and then of course this sales plan. And then the third one is going to be event planning. All right, so target customer, including the buyer's persona. So the target customer for Favors Marketing Lessons 101 include the following online consumer to customer who purchase categories. So these are your conference attendees. These are the ones who will attend a setting marketing goals workshop. Then local and national book fair attendees. These are the ones who will visit a Favors Marketing Solutions or Regina White Favors website exhibitor booth. And then you have your workshop participants that I create for myself, apart from a conference. And then online coaching clients of the coaching program. any emerging small business owners who are new to digital marketing, and then continuing education students of marketing planning courses founded at local colleges and universities. So these are your target customers for Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles. So revenue targets based on sales forecasting. So I then separated them into primary, uh, secondary strategies, and I based it on the idea of setting revenue target. What would be most likely a I could achieve a revenue target. So a primary strategy would focus on the online coaching, would focus on continuing education students, and then the workshop participants, where I would actually get paid. The secondary strategy would be conference attendees, book fair attendees, and then emerging small business owners who are new. A lot of times, emerging small business owners do not want to take a workshop unless it is affordable. So that's why this is at the secondary level. The secondary strategy is based on the primary marketing goals of building brand awareness and driving traffic to the website. So, sales plan strategies and tactics. The sales plan strategies and tactics for Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles will be based on the following ideas. So, we need to create realistic goals, create deadlines and milestones. We need to define the value proposition, establish a list of prospects, and then measure progress. Creating a sales lead will require adopting the 6 C's of sales approach, which include confidence, credibility, contact, communication, customization, and collaboration. So it is important to establish deadlines for a revenue target as well as how you will execute the sales plan. So establishing deadlines for your sales plan will be predicated on your revenue target for a product and or service. So the goal, this means that you need to set a marketing goal for that product or service. Target, identify the target market for that product or service. Budget, create the digital marketing campaign for that product or service. Set the budget here. That means you need to consider cost to market and then cost to sell. Your position, consider your niche position in the industry. So you are starting from the bottom. You do not assume that just because you have good investments and you have assets that you are competitive. You are not competitive in a market that is saturated with other companies with brand equity and uh, high market share. Benchmarks, set benchmarks for daily, monthly, quarterly, and yearly revenue. So in January, we want to achieve 3,000 worth of titles sold. And then by December, we hope to achieve 25,000 uh, products sold, right? And so that's a benchmark that gives you some deadlines, and then it helps you to set revenue targets. Pricing, marketing, and promotional activities. So digital ads are created for all Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles. Marketing and promotional activities include social media platforms such as Facebook and Instagram, Facebook profile, Instagram, um, and related. Digital ad videos, storytelling ideas are in progress. So Google Ads programming will be utilized for 2024. And then LinkedIn is the least cost effective, but a quarterly campaign might work. So then deadlines would be the deadlines for marketing Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles are based on monthly digital ad campaigns. There are 7-day campaigns that Favors Marketing Solutions and the Regina Y Favors website utilize to market on the Facebook page and profile. Deadlines also include the ones provided for a national conference and local book fairs. So we will the Regina Y Favors website will continue to market and exhibit and promote and sell at the Miami Book Fair each November. The Small Business Expo is a new addition to our marketing planning, and we are going to exhibit at least twice under Favors Marketing Solutions. Deadlines also include the ones provided for national conference and local book fair. Small Business Expo is on a nationwide yearly tour, while Miami Book Fair 2024 is set to begin in November of the same year. All right, team structure and resources. The primary team structure is me for right now, Regina Y Favors, because most of the money that I spend goes to marketing, planning, exhibiting, etc. However, to sell products, I will need to create a sales training book for Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles to include account executive, managers, sales development representatives. This will encourage the consideration and development of part-time personnel for conferences and book fairs, so that assistance that I might need at a book fair. The development of a sales training book will require 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day strategies to help trainees become familiar with the product, the market, and sales and revenue goals. So that will be part of the training program that I would have to create. All right, market research and conditions. So the market for marketing planning, digital marketing workshops, and online coaching is saturated with certified specialists and programs that offer accredited education through baccalaureate and certificate program, both online and campus based. Companies and established small business owners familiar with marketing planning might find Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles unnecessary given the accessibility to online free learning. However, online learning is in this area of marketing planning is repetitious, redundant, and sort of disorganized, meaning that it takes a while. If you're not a good researcher, if you're not a person who knows how to conduct really good keyword research to find what you need, you might feel, kind of frustrated. There needs to be a central place that online consumers can access to get what they need about how to market, sell, and plan their exhibition at events. Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles are the answers to questions an online consumer has about where and how to start. And I noticed that even in the titles, I'm still going to have to get even more specific. Um, so that is a work in progress, but the market research is saturated because everyone is into digital market is saturated right now because everyone is into AI. That's a new task that I'm going to have to take on, especially for the emerging small business owner who wants to know about that. So, conclusion, leveraging your sales plan. Most important takeaway. The most important takeaway from this presentation is that it is time to create a sales plan for products of the following Favors brands: the Regina Y Favors website, those products and titles, Favors Marketing Solutions, those products and titles, FMS Marketing Coaching Program, which is online products, and then Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles and workshops. There is also the Favors Marketing School, which is going to be online through teachable.com, but it is in process. Building brand awareness must lead to establishing revenue targets. This will help to establish and leverage sales plan objectives for all products. So when we are making connections, logo plus branding connection to the sales plan, remember that the logo plus branding connection to the sales plan must create consistency between use of logos for the following. So these are the following right now, and that's the website, the marketing solutions, the marketing coaching, and the marketing school. So these are the different logos for that. The customer must be able to connect the logo to the Favors brand of products, services, titles to ensure the sales plan is effective and meets revenue targets. This means that it is time to define strictly the customer and the revenue target for each brand. And of course, these brands are going to come up under the higher brand, which is Favors Learning Center, and then we'll later put on top of that Favors Corporation. All right, future steps. Future steps include um, having to design priorities for customer targets, customer categories based on the potential of reaching a revenue target. For example, providing complimentary titles at a small business conference and or book fair would not meet a revenue target. However, Focusing on revenue generating targets such as online coaching clients, continuing education students, and workshop participants will be required for a realistic sales plan. So here is a recap of those customer categories. That's your online coaching clients, continuing education students, and then workshop participants. So these are the Favors Marketing Lessons titles. So there's your action, there's your workbook in action. That's the very first one. The basics for creating the buyer's personas. The brief guide to digital marketing, which is what I wrote in December 2023. We are in January 2024. And then the digital ads collection and planning workbook. So these are your main Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles. I'm going to add two to three more. All right, so future titles under the Favors Marketing Lessons 101, they are based on the development of Favors business planning workshops for Logo Plus Branding and Event Planning 101. So it would be Logo Plus Brand, Introduction to Business Planning Basics. So I've already done the presentation on that. Logo Plus Brand, Introduction to the Sales Plan Basics, which is what you're listening to right now. And then Logo Plus Brand, Introduction to Event Planning Basics, which is in um, progress. It is possible that all three titles might be compiled into one main title. So I'm not quite sure just yet. So about Favors Marketing Solutions, it is a creative digital marketing agency. It offers we offer marketing planning services, workshops, and a digital marketing curriculum, which is also in process. We create and facilitate the Favors Business Planning Workshops, which manages the Favors Coffee Shop. And our tagline is Business Planning from Seed. Favors Marketing Solutions manages the content development for Favors Marketing School. And then we also manage the development of Favors Marketing Lessons 101 titles. So for more information on business planning, you can download and watch the video. That's the Logo Plus Branding Introduction to Business Planning, the basics. That lecture goes into greater detail about business planning. So you can stop right here if you want to stop right here and get some rest. I'm going to go over the glossary of important terms that we covered throughout the presentation, but didn't uh, fully explore within the presentation. And this is also going to be a separate video. I'm going to create the full, uh, export the full, and then I'm going to break it up into the main, the case study, and then this glossary here. So if you wanted to stop right here, you are more than welcome to stop right here. Glossary of important terms, understanding sales planning terms. So the recap sales goals terms that we mentioned at the beginning, towards the middle of the presentation. So reduce customer churn, increase sales revenue, manage customer retention, deepen lead engagement, improve email marketing, increase customer satisfaction, improve customer acquisition, improve market share, and then schedule more demos. I want to make a point of giving you a rationale behind the two picks here. There's one with the sales target, and then there's one with the good, better, and best. And if you hit a sales target, if you set a sales target, a revenue target, you can then measure it by whether or not that was a good sales target, whether or not that it was a better sales target, or whether or not it is the best sales target. So that's why I think because I originally just had one pick, and it was actually the blue one here, good, better, best. But then I thought something about it. I thought to myself, I'm just going to include both of them. All right, so let's go ahead and define customer churn. So customer churn is defined by the percentage of customers who have stopped purchasing your product and or service during a specific period. A company loses its customers simply because the customers stop using the product or service. And so here is the customer churn depiction here. And I think the most important aspect of this definition when you are creating sales targets and revenue targets is that the company has lost the customer because the customer has simply stopped using the product. And Facebook is very it has I would think it would have low customer churn because everyone uses that product some kind of way, whether they download the app or not. They will remain a customer, and a few may drop off. But if you notice, people on their pages, on their profiles, they'll say, "I'm going to leave Facebook alone." Maybe a month passes, sometimes a year, and then you'll see that they have returned. And so that's an interesting thing. That's why I would think that the customer churn will be lower for YouTube and for Facebook and for most social media platforms, right? The customer churn might be low for, it might be high or low for, say, like the industry, right? Like a burger industry. If you have a lot of people who have decided to go vegan or something like that, it might be that the customer churn is affected. But in year one, there were 2,000. In year two, there was 1,600. And then in year three, that 1,280. So you would have to measure why people are, why they have stopped using the product or service. Sales revenue defined. So sales revenue is defined as income the business generates from the sale of goods and or services. Generally, revenue is defined as all the revenue that a company generates from the sale of core goods and services. When there is revenue generated outside of core goods and services, it is considered non-operating revenue. Sales revenue is generated strictly from the sale of goods and services. All right, so key features of sales revenue. Sales revenue measures a company's profitability. It helps companies assess pricing strategies. It helps companies plan operating expenses. It also helps companies calculate valuation and then includes the sale of products and services. Sales revenue does not include the cost of goods, including production and labor. It does not include sales tax. It is not considered an asset. It is recorded on the income statement, not and not the balance sheet itself. So calculating sales revenue, it has its own formula. Of course, sales revenue is calculated by multiplying the number of units sold for a product by the average price of that product. And here is the formula. So sales revenue equals sales times average price of service or product. So if you look at sales refers to the number of units sold, and then the average price refers to average price per unit. All right, customer retention defined. Customer retention is defined as the rate at which customers remain with the company during a specified period of time. Customer retention is calculated by measuring the number of customers the company retains over that number of time. Customer retention rate is expressed as a percentage. So if you want to calculate customer retention rate, um, you would need to answer the following questions. What is the period you want to measure, whether it's a month or quarterly or yearly? What is the number of your existing customers at the start of this period? What is the total number of customers at the end of the period? And then how many new customers were added during the period? And so common denominator, the common denominator is the period that you want to measure. And so, as long as you're measuring either that month or that quarterly or that year, you're going to get your customer retention rate. So let's look at the figure here. So customer retention rate equals number of customers at end of period minus number of customers acquired during period over number of customers at start of period, whatever that number is, time 100. So key strategies to retain customers, the following key strategies. The following strategies are key to helping companies retain customers. Create an onboarding experience, personalize the customer experience, build trust with your customers, create a customer feedback loop, develop a customer education program and or newsletter, offer a loyalty program, unique services, and create a customer retention program. I think the onboarding experience is very important. How you sign up for a particular newsletter, how you sign up for the website, how you set up an account, that step-by-step process. People like that. For me, I always want to just give, I don't mind giving out or using my email address, but a lot of times I don't want to sign up for the account. So you have different types of customers. It just depends on what you think is the best way to retain that customer. All right, lead engagement defined. So lead engagement is defined as the process of creating a connection with potential customers for the purpose of converting them to leads. So the strategy is going to be create the connection. A lead is defined as a customer's interest in your product and or service and their qualification to buy your product and or service. So then the strategy would be to qualify the buyer. Qualifying the buyer is essentially figuring out what kind of economy, what kind of financial background they have in order to be able to convert from qualified lead to new customer. All right, multiple channels to engage leads. So the different methods of lead engagement include the following marketing channels. So that's your social media platforms, your email marketing, your webinar marketing, content marketing, and any sort of offline event. So that means you are attending book fairs, conferences, networking events, etc. All right, there are differences between lead generation and then engagement. So, lead generation is based on the interest and qualification of leads. These are customers who have been assessed as potential buyers of products and or services. Engagement, customer engagement allows sales professionals to qualify the lead, which leads to producing a potential sale. These are customers who through sustained engagement will likely purchase products and or services. Just some few industry terms. So the 4 P's of engagement, the 5 stages of engagement. The 4 P's of engagement include the following categories. So partnerships, perspective, presence, persistence. The 5 stages of engagement includes the following: exploration, realization, anticipation, persistence, initiation. So it's up to you. I can define these terms, but it's up to you to determine how you would tailor these types of terms to your product or service. That's why I'm not going to define them here. All right, so understanding qualified leads. A qualified lead is considered a prospective customer that falls under the following processes. So the marketing team will generate the qualified lead. The sales team will evaluate the qualified lead. The qualified lead fits the profile of an ideal customer. That's your buyer's persona. The qualified lead reflects a customer with an intent to buy. That's why you don't. That's why you don't see many salespeople spending too much time with a person who's just looking. They're looking for the person who actually can be converted into a new customer. All right, email marketing defined. So, email marketing is defined as a type of digital marketing method marketers use to engage with the audience of a business product and or service. Email marketing allows businesses to promote products and or services to a list of subscribers. Creating an email marketing campaign is based on set marketing goals. Of course, it's also going to be on sales goals if you have a link within the email as well. So getting started, to get started with creating an email campaign, you need the following. So you need to define the audience, set marketing goals, choose an email marketing platform, define the digital ad campaign type and call to action, build an email list, segment the list, create the email, test the email, measure results. So we're going to get into more exploration of this. So segmenting the email list is part of the initial process, but it requires extensive planning. A segmented list is based on the set marketing goals and digital ad campaign type. So whether or not you're going to use a newsletter or content marketing, auto responses such as welcome emails, transactional emails. A segmented list includes the following considerations. So that's your geography. Okay, uh, that means that's the community that you want to sell to. Your demographics, that's your research data. Past purchases, buyer's persona, interest, and engagement. So when you are creating a list of based upon the marketing goals, you are going to um, consider these categories in your sales plan. It's also important to think about email marketing compliance, whether or not the person will opt in. So, email marketers must comply with federal regulations regarding spam emails. The CAN Spam Act protects consumers and businesses from unwanted electronic email messages. The full legislation is titled Controlling the Assault of Non-Solicited Pornography and Marketing Act of 2003. The legislation permits the Federal Communications Commission to issue rules concerning commercial emails and text messages. So when you're designing an email marketing campaign, you have to meet certain federal guidelines to solicit um, through a sales plan. All right, measuring results of an email marketing campaign that you utilize. Measuring the results of your email marketing campaign should reveal information about the following. So, the unique open rate. This tracks the number of customers who open your emails. The click through rate. This tracks the number of customers who click links in your emails. And then the bounce rate, this tracks the number of rejections from email servers. And that may suggest a bad email list. And then unsubscribe rate. This tracks the number of customers who have unsubscribed to your email. So I'm the kind of person, I tend to, if I subscribe to your whatever, your website, I tend to kind of keep that subscription, right? But then if I get a flood of emails from that website just continually being distractive, then I might go ahead and unsubscribe. But that's very rare for me. All right, customer satisfaction defined. So customer satisfaction is measured by how happy customers are with your products and or services. There are four contributors to customer satisfaction. So that's perceived quality, customer expectations, customer complaints, customer loyalty. So then how is it measured? Customer satisfaction is measured by the following four metrics. So that's your overall satisfaction, customer loyalty, attribute measurement, and intent to repurchase. So overall satisfaction, this refers to attitude. Perceived quality may be further measured by overall quality, perceived reliability, and the extent to which a customer's needs have been met. And it's very important because when I want to purchase something on Amazon, I now go straight to the reviews, and I'm looking for a consistency. If you have more people who say they love the product, it fits well, things like that, I'll go ahead and buy. But if the majority of people are saying they don't like the product, then there's a quality issue. There's a perceived reliability. I was relying on these shoes to work for me, but they can't because they're too narrow. And you said that they're wide width, and that bothers me. And so I had to return those shoes, or I'm not going to buy again. So the overall quality, but the perceived reliability. If I go and buy a car, I want it to work. If I go and buy a dress, I want it to fit right. Okay. So the overall, I believe out of all these categories, I think it's the perceived reliability that that tends to influence a customer to purchase again. And then customer loyalty. This refers to effective and behavioral. A sample question might be, how likely are you to choose this product, or how likely are you to recommend to this product rec- recommend this product to someone else. So attribute measurement, this refers to affective and cognitive in questions such as how important is color in your choice. Navy blue is my favorite color. I'm going to want to get it in a certain type of item. And so if you don't have that item, it's going to bother me. I'm going to have to now go find another location to get those navy blue pants or something like that. Intent to repurchase, this um, refers to behavioral. So a typical question might include, do you intend to return? So this is how customer satisfaction is measured. All right, customer acquisition defined. So customer acquisition is defined by the process of bringing in new customers. Customer acquisition is based on the idea of a company turning a potential customer into a new customer. This is the central goal of a company. Typical examples might include use of email marketing, use of a CRM, which is your customer relationship management uh, software, and then earning trust and providing great customer service. So the customer acquisition funnel it begins with the journey of the customer. So um, that's how it is actually defined. Customer acquisition funnel explores the journey of a customer. The journey is characterized in the following processes. So awareness. This explains the first time people learn about your product or service. Interest. This explains the interest a potential customer has in exploring the brand and researching products or services. Consideration. This explains how a potential customer becomes a qualified lead by taking action, such as signing up for a subscription. And then intent. This explains the behavior of a potential customer intending to purchase by adding items to an online cart or in a physical store. And then lastly, purchase. This epitomizes the conversion stage, the qualified lead to potential customer to new customer who purchased the product or service. The customer acquisition funnel is something new to me. I've never thought about it like that. Especially the ideal about lead to qualified lead to potential customer to new customer. These are new terms to me that I'm gonna spend a little bit more time with. Right, customer acquisition channels. So they are very much like the marketing planning channels as well. So content marketing, social media, display ads, and then email marketing. So you want to calculate customer acquisition cost, and here is a figure here. So calculating the customer acquisition is based on the following formula. So CAZ or a CAC, customer acquisition cost, equals total amount spent on acquisition efforts over the number of new customers acquired. So that visual is kind of clear. So cost of sales plus cost of marketing over new customers acquired. So if digital advertising costs to acquire a customer total 1,000, but I only acquired 5 new customers who clicked the subscribe follow button, then the customer acquisition cost would equal 200. So then the goal would be to minimize customer acquisition cost and how to do that. So minimizing customer acquisition cost would require reducing spending on advertising costs. The better strategy might include content marketing, utilizing SEO to meet marketing and sales goals. 3 steps are important for minimizing customer acquisition costs. So we need to define the target audience a lot better. We need to define the marketing and sales goals, and then target the digital ad campaign based on revenue target for a product or service. And that's how you can uh, utilize 3 steps to minimize customer acquisition cost. So now let's get into market share. And there's a formula there. Market share is defined simply by the portion of the market that a company controls through its product and or service. Market share is calculated as the percentage of the total revenue or sales in a market that is the makeup of that company. Market share is a percentage of the company's sales, total market sales. So company revenue is considered business revenue, while market revenue is considered industry revenue. A given period can be a fiscal quarter, year, or multiple years. So looking at the visual here, market share formula, company's revenue, what the company has made in terms of sales, and then the market revenue, what the market makes in terms of sales. So if we're looking at the burger market, McDonald's is going to have company revenue sales, but then the restaurant market or burger market is going to have market revenue sales as well. And you can find out all this information on one of these trade manuals that I'm going to now begin to look at and research. All right, sample market share calculation. So a standard scenario would be the restaurant industry over a fiscal year. So a restaurant had total revenues of 5 million in restaurant products and tools. The restaurant industry had total revenues of 10 million in restaurant products and tools. So if you look at that math wise, 5 million over 10 million equal 0.5 times 100, that restaurant had 50% market share. Then you look at it in terms of larger numbers, 20 million over 200, 0.1 times 100, and they had 10% market share. it gets a little tricky what that all means. I mean, I'm not the math genius here, so it is something that I have to look at much more in depth. All right, so engagement leads to improving market share. So these are your strategies for improving your market share, engaging with customers, increasing your customer base, reducing price on products, building brand awareness, developing a brand position, and then deploying targeted digital advertising campaigns. So anyone with a higher market share, any company is going to have the budget for marketing and promotions and online marketing, right? So then to increase your market share as an emerging business, you're going to have to build brand awareness, maybe offer discounts on products during certain times, increase your customer base, maybe bring in brand loyalty objectives, and then of course engaging with customers. And then scheduling demos is defined as a demo is defined as a free service offered by a company. A demo offers potential customers the opportunity to see a live demonstration of a product and or service. The purpose of a demo is to highlight the value of your product or service to current, prospective, and or new customers. For the company executing the sales plan, the purpose of the demo is to close the deal. So when you are creating the sales plan, the goal is always to the initial goal is to create the revenue target, figure out what the marketing goals are going to be, uh, attempt to convert uh, qualified lead, potential customer to new customer, and then close the deal. That's what the sales plan is for, is to close the deal. All right, so these are the references and resources considered for this presentation and research just in general. So this will be a downloadable document. It goes about 2 slides. Uh, and so you'll be able to find information just by clicking on the links yourself. So this is Logo Plus Branding, Introduction to the Sales Plan, the Basics. Take some time to visit favorsmarketinglessons.com. You can also visit reginayfavors.com for tips and resources. This will be housed on the websites as well as the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for listening.